take a hold of what belongs to me. It's time to walk away with no apologies. Voices in the mirror start quietly. Now the screaming black and
Welcome back to the GPL Week 8, Day 1. I'm your host for today. I'm Teddy Tibus. Joining me is...
And I'm Justin, glad to be back on the show as your co-host.
What a fake smile.
What? No, it's a real smile. Definitely glad to be back here. It's Week 8. It's going to be a very exciting week. And after this, we'll be going on break for 2 weeks, right?
No?
We won't?
No, I'm just joking, guys.
We will be going on break, so definitely this will be like the first half of the season. It's definitely going to be a very exciting one. To conclude the first half, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I thought you were stuck, so I just silently helped you out. You know.
No worries. Go ahead.
So moving on from that, we're going to give you a brief introduction on the GPL. So for those of you who are first time viewing it, so you will know that if you don't know anything about the GPL, it's basically created by Garena. And there are 6 countries involved with it, 5 from Southeast Asia, the 5, and 1 from Taiwan. So representing Malaysia will be the KL Hunters, Singapore will be the Singapore Sentinels, Thailand will be the Bangkok Titans, Vietnam will be the Saigon Jokers, Philippines will be the Malaya Eagles, and lastly, Taiwan's Taipei Assassins, which is quite the top 5 teams apparently right now, voted by GG Chronicle, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the top 5 teams in the world, that is. Yeah.
So basically, as you can see, it will be a 20-week run, 40 matches total. So there'll be a rankings of the total wins, and ranking number 2 and 3 will fight for best of 3 for a chance to fight for the first placing against the rank 1 for best of 5 to become the GPL champions, where fame and glory, and most importantly, cash money of 40,000 USD.
Definitely, there's a lot of money up there to be won, and each team are definitely trying their very best to go out there and to win that money, definitely, for their country's sake, for their team's sake, and for themselves, obviously. Yeah.
It's okay, when KLH wins, we should ambush them, take the money.
We will happily ambush them and get a free dinner out of it.
Definitely from that. Okay, so moving on to the games for today, as you saw earlier, it will be the first game will be the Singapore Sentinels against the KL Hunters. It's a team with very strong rivalry. We've been fighting since forever, I suppose, since the beginning of League of Legends.
Yep, definitely. Since a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, since a year ago for WCG, the placings, for everything. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be the first game of the day. It's going to be very exciting to see. And if you have actually visited our forums and seen the banners, you have known that the pumping scene that you have seen everyone doing.
100
pumpings,
apparently. 100 push-ups. Yeah.
100 push-ups to see. So that'll be something to see. Last week we were quite disappointed when KLH didn't secure the 2 wins. So the manager decided to give them whip their asses. Give them some pumping, give them some push-ups, some hardcore gym activities to do at the same time to refreshen their physical and spiritualness.
I mean, they definitely want to come back with a vengeance here. They want to come back and show that they really are one of the stronger teams out there. So, with the publicity being out here and with the first match of Week 8 being against Singapore Sentinels and their strong performance last week, beating out Taipei Assassins, I'm very sure that they definitely want to perform and show that they're really, really well prepared for them. And I believe they would be in this game.
Definitely. That she spent 4 hours doing theory crafting today, I believe. Is it 4 hours? Close to 4 hours I was here. Anyway, moving on from there, so give you a brief introduction for the teams of today. So first, moving on with the Singapore Sentinels. So I believe, if I'm not wrong, today Chawi will not be playing, and he's not even in the picture yet because he's like a random player with hidden weapon.
He is the hidden
After
one.
Taipei SGS has been beaten, he's gone off for holiday, hiding somewhere. We want to keep his victory against the Taipei SGS.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there's the AP carry Darkness, and there was it against Hallelujah? If you saw the video in the league, you will see them doing arm wrestling and the swords. And Equivocal staying pretty, was it LY4 staying pretty by loving
It was,
love?
I think it was LY4,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
And Kailing as the team leader.
Yes, the brains of the
The brains.
operation, yeah, that's what they call him.
And lastly, the top tofu boy with that stare. Where
The stare of death.
instead of death,
Anybody he sees, he kills in lane.
it's like instant. It's like you look at Cassiopeia, the ultimate stun, stone. Okay, so moving on from there. So as we have the home team for ourselves as well, the KL Hunters,
Yeah.
it's going to be something interesting to see. So we were going to see Goldens today with Ipions, with Ipions, Monkeys, and Hagane and Jaeyoung carrying out this game. Hopefully they will carry the game to victory and we can say, yes, we beat Singapore Sentinels, and then because we beat Singapore Sentinels, we have a chance to beat Taipei SGS. We had this short
I
discussion.
think definitely they all do have a potential to definitely beat them and to still move out there. They have been training. I have seen them training. Their gameplay is solid. And definitely if they do play a really well thought out game and their strategies are really wise, it would definitely for sure be a excellent game to watch, one of the best games out there. But we shall see soon.
Shall see.
We shall see soon.
Or you're going to commentate something and then it happens again, and then in the end, like SGS is listening to the stream somehow, even though there's 3 minutes delay, it somehow comes into them and they're like, we saw this it's precognition, right?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, or premonition rather.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more like I have a psychic link to them. So as I'm speaking to you live now, and when you're hearing it 3 minutes later, Singapore Sentinels already has the edge.
Yes, they really know what's happening somehow.
Somehow.
Yes. So this is going to be something to see. So we have. Oh, is it? So right now we're going to move into the champion selection screen first, as the bans and picks already happen. So this is going to be interesting to see as they connect. I believe they're all connected in because the timer has begun. So I believe the first ban. Oh, I was
There
just
we
about
go.
to say Vladimir, but okay. Because I believe they want to stop the strong double AP lane, and Monkeys has been playing quite a solid Vladimir so far in the GPL. So
Definitely double APs are very, very strong. Being able to snowball from the mid game to the late game and to push out the entire enemy out there. We also do see Shen being banned very, very common.
quickly.
We see Darius. I would guess a targeted ban for Monkeys.
I believe it's the targeted ban for Monkeys. I mean, the top lane, I suppose for Southeast Asia as well, like we also focus a lot on the top lane. Like I think the top lane get all the kills and experience to then carry the game later on. Because it's easy to snowball the top lane since it's a 1v1.
Yes.
The jungler gangs fail, so put them at a very high advantage. We can see that Morgana's been taken out as well. I thought it would be a twisted fate because they banned Shen. I thought they wanted to remove all the AoE global ultimates out.
Perhaps they maybe Singapore Sentinels wants Twisted Fate and Nocturne because they have banned out Malphite as well. So perhaps they want the combination and hoping that KL Hunters don't snatch it away before they do.
I believe maybe Malphite is actually the favorite pick of the month, so to speak.
yes.
After his buff, the Unstoppable Force, the ultimate just diving in like a train, bullet train. instantly.
Definitely. We saw Saigon Jokers use Malphite and Nocturne to melt the enemy team straight away. The combinations, and it was gone. And we see Rise actually being the last ban. Interesting.
I guess it's going to be quite interesting to see, I suppose. And there goes the first pick of Alistar for SGS. It's going to be jungle or support?
I would say jungle. Alistair Jungle has been a very, very strong jungler, being able to dominate into lane, being able to gank from the pulverize and the headbutts, and even moving on into late game, him being able to withstand so much of damage. He's definitely one of the choices that pro players use and even newer players choose, simply because he's able to be versatile in any sort of situation.
Well, what happens if he becomes an AP mid Alistar?
I highly doubt that will happen, but if it does, I mean, he does have good ratios. I mean, he was used some time ago as AP mid, no longer a favorite to be out there. But I do believe he will lose out to more of the champions such as Ari and things like that, who can charm him into an orb of deception to damage him significantly.
And we can see that KLH has locked down on the AD carry and support almost instantly. This is the most solid build for KLH so far, I believe, will be the Corki and Terry combo.
We also have used Corki Nunu as well, being up there, but definitely the Tariq with the extra armor from Shatter and also the ability to stun, and then Corki can just move in with Valkyrie. It's a very good combination to have at bottom lane. It definitely helps dominate versus Grave Soraka, for instance.
Definitely. Because one thing bad about Soraka is that even though she has the highest sustain among all the supports, she does not have a way to stop opponents from charging in, even though you can do a short silence. It's good against Alistar, but for Tariq, once the stun comes out, it's almost in the same range, I believe.
Yes.
The stun will come out, the silence will come out at the same time, so it will not stop anything from happening from there.
But we see Anivia and Irelia possibly being picked up by Singapore. Interesting. I'm thinking of combinations.
But I don't know, the combinations now seem a bit off. Like they have a heavy CC composition,
Yes.
but at the
Very
same
heavy.
time,
And they have very heavy CC. and
diving, I suppose.
perhaps. I'm not so sure. It depends on their last two picks. Depends on what their AD carries are actually being used. Because there's no point they CC, but they aren't able to finish off the kill. So definitely, I believe they would be taking Graves out there. So
Yes, I believe
you stun them, and Graves, dashes in and buckshots, right to the face, dealing tons of damage to the enemy team. While Anivia has her frozen field there.
Definitely going to be doing tons of damage, but I remember, was it Manila Eagles? When they played against Taipei Assassins, they actually took Alistar support, and then they got the Maokai jungle.
Yes.
Heavy CC composition, and with the Kasadi silence, totally tearing TPA apart. So do you think this will be a repeat or something similar?
I don't
of
think
what
so.
they're
It will
trying
be
to
a repeat, but I think the reason also why then Manila Eagles won against Taipei Assassins was simply because Maokai, when he put down his ultimate there, he soaked up a lot of damage, helping the team to survive even longer. So I mean, we haven't seen KL Hunters use Maokai in a while. I believe the last one was when Dawn used him.
Yes.
That was a few weeks ago. And it looks like it will not be coming out this week when we have Lee Sin and Nocturne locked in for KL Hunters. Teleport.
most probably going to be for Goldens, I suppose. The something, no, that doesn't make sense. So Monkeys, so I suppose maybe Monkeys is going to aim for a quick stay on the dragon, I suppose, with teleport or mobility to gang the bottom lanes easier. Like teleport has been one of those summoner spells which allows you to make big plays, make a lot of things happen. The ward is probably placed and someone does not see it happen.
Yes.
But it becomes a risk where if you go down, you do not land the kills, you do not get the dragon, then top lane is just going to snowball further.
Exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking, that if Lee Sin does teleport down, it will give Irelia, meaning Tofu, a lot of advantage to farm up there. But will the trade be worth? If Lee Sin or if KL Hunters do get a kill or 2 kills out of it, then it's worth it. But if not, it's kind of a gamble in that sense.
But we're seeing a change it back to Ignite, so I suppose it's not going to be teleport. And we have the Nocturne jungle. So I suppose Nocturne is one of the better ways to counter champions with niche sight to actually use abilities to hit something, I suppose. You need to aim.
Yes.
Like for Alistar hit, but once you use darkness, if it's just nice out of range, you can't do it anymore.
You won't be able to land a proper hit, but yes, of course.
So it's also one of those famous picks, so to speak, from using Nocturne. You cancel out everyone's vision, and those champions whose skill shots are much slower, who's dependent on correct location, so to speak, like Anivia. Her ice ball travels quite rather slowly compared to other skill shots, in my opinion.
And depends on where you actually burst it, that's where the stun actually comes to, so yes.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how well Nocturne uses his darkness. I believe that will be one of the determining factors for the team fights right now.
I think also the other thing that needs to be noted is that the paranoia by Nocturne is also greatly used when trying to take an early dragon or early baron, when trying to steal it. They prevent any sort of vision there. So even if you have a ward, you can't see anything any longer. So you can't flash to smite in or anything of that sort. So, experienced players like to use Nocturne in team compositions for that, being able to, pull one right under. Yeah.
It's like a mind game, so to speak, being played out there.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I used to try to time Baron. So there's once I was against a Nocturne. I think I was using Nautilus. So he used Paranoia. I was about to die. So I flashed in too early. I couldn't get the spike kill. Instead, I got instant burst down.
Instant burst down, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to see how well this will be played out. And lastly, for KLH, it'll be Ari. Oh, Ari against Anivia. What do you think?
I think it's possible. It depends on how Golden's plays. If he's very aggressive, he can shut down Anivia pre-6. But post-6, it's going to be a dancing game of avoiding each other's skill shots. Because if one of them, if Anivia does get caught in the charm, it can be bursted down pretty easily. But if Ari gets caught in the ice ball, then she could go down pretty easily as well. I do believe that they'll be heavily relying on their junglers. Now, if, for instance, Ari gets caught, Alista can come in with the headbutt into Pulverize and basically stun lock Ari, not being able to Spirit Dash away. And the same goes on the other hand. If Charm does go off and the Orb of Deception into Foxfire by Ari can lower Anivia down, Nocturne can just fly in with Paranoia and decimate, ensuring the kill.
So, yes. So this is going to be quite interesting to see. So let's take a look at Golden's runes and masteries. So since playing against Anivia, some people will opt to be more defensive, I suppose, to secure their lives, so to speak. But no, it's going to be 9.9 magic penetration and 22 ability power at level 18 and 15 ability power for the Quintessence, which is the basic, I suppose.
But they do have AP per level runes at level 18, helping him out a little bit there. Not too much. I guess he wants to, keep it sustained in lane, not just pre-6 just have flat health and later not be able to scale off really well. So this will help him stay in lane, possibly from death, if Anivia just become very, very aggressive against Ari.
Definitely, but one of the main picks, so to speak, for me that I always see right now will be on the seals. There are a lot of AP carries use health per level to level 18 right now. To get the extra 175 health. What do you think about that? Do you think it's versatile or is it useful?
I think it's definitely versatile because a lot of times when it comes to AP carries, we are used to them without having any sort of health runes, let alone seals or quintessences. So we are able to time our abilities exactly to that. But now when you throw in seals and it changes every little level by a little bit more, you have to recalculate how much AP do you need. Do you want to go more offensive or defensive? You need to basically get yourself adjusted every single level that it goes up. And if you get a Catalyst or the Protector on top of it, it's going to be even more difficult since the numbers now are slightly more different.
Definitely, that will make quite a big change. So I suppose we should take a look at Anivia's side as well.
Yes.
Anivia normally will play mana regenerations for the seals. Just so because she is very mana hungry, if she does not get the blue buff, it's going to spell very devastating for her. But yes, there goes the mana regen for the seals and movement speed for the queens.
It's simply because Anivia is slow. She's a very slow bird. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, so this is going to be quite an interesting fight to see how this will play out, I suppose. For the mid lane, I believe that the best way to counter Anivia is very simple. If you can starve her of a blue, then she'll be totally shut down for like half of the game in a sense.
If KL Hunters can control the blue buffs of the enemy team and their team, it will be devastating for Anivia because post 6 she's unable to do much. And if she decides to go for a different build, for instance, if she decides to go for Will of the Ancients or things like that first and not get a Chalice of Harmony, it's going to be quite devastating, especially if she's denied the blue buff. But aside the mid lane, we see that at the bottom lane with Janna there being able to tornado away Taric whenever it comes. It's going to be interesting to see if Quacky can Valkyrie in time and bypass the tornado, so yes.
So I mean that will be quite interesting, I suppose, all the while to see this. Singapore Senators have a hard CC composition as well as the Cancer team fights away using Janna. And KLH seems to be focused more on cancelling out the things from happening as well as high mobility. So right now I'm going to move into the game to see what's going to happen. Is it going to be a counter jungle? Is it going to be a buff or evade? It's going to be like, is it going to be 5 at their own blue fighting, dishing it out? I believe, which match was it? It was the most exciting beginning, I believe.
Where they continuously ran around blue?
Yeah.
It was KL Hunters versus
Mulai Eagles?
Saigon Jokers, if I'm not mistaken. It was last week's match where they kept playing around blue and KL Hunters got denied their blue 3 or 4 times in a row. Yeah, that was really well timed. Looks
Yes.
like no invade.
Yeah, gonna play safe, gonna be very safe, not gonna opt to take any chances on both sides because I suppose for early damage, RV will have the highest in terms of because opposite section will do true damage, but I suppose since you're guarding, you'll take charm.
Perhaps.
Right,
But we also do have Alistar in the beginning on your opponent team, and Alistar is like the king of invade.
But I mean, like if we saw the I think it was MLE against Singapore Sentinels, where the charm caught Jana was moving back,
Yeah.
and the flash at the start power rise and it missed, and he was like, okay, I did because there's
Yeah.
nowhere to
There's no
other
other way to follow up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be quite interesting to see. I mean, sometimes you do it well. If your CC does not land properly, it's gonna spell
It's
GG.
high risk, high reward.
Yes, high risk, high
His
reward.
bomb rise only
Minions
works
has spawned.
if it lands. If it doesn't, wow, he's a bit weak on that end.
Yeah. So talking about that, we had this fun conversation since nothing is happening right now. Just talking a bit more about how Alistar is being played. Like a lot of players opt to not use smart cast, so to speak,
Yes.
because they want to know the exact range of the headbutt before. So when it lands, they know they can spam the Q for power rise.
Yeah.
A lot of players are arguing like, I need to use smart cast because it's going to be faster. It's going to help me out even more. So what do you think about that?
I think at high level play, you should not use smart card simply because you exactly want to know the range. So it's a very calculated risk. What's interesting to note is that KL Hunters actually took some time. They did not start with wolves. They started with blue golems straight away. Now it's a little bit odd, considering the fact that they were all hiding around there. I guess they were afraid of an invade.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, as you said, their early invade should be more powerful, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like Elisa that's catching with the flash power rise and the stun from Anivia all together is going to decimate them. So I suppose they opt for the most safe route to wait until does anyone appear or not at all before they move out.
And I guess also it kind of throws the timer of blue buff slightly off. So if the Singapore Sentinels wants to come in and steal, they will realize that, you know what, they're a little bit too early and it doesn't work out for them because KL Hunters can basically respond.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we can see an aggressive start for Singapore Sentinels where RY4 with the help of Jana is just going to continuously poke Jeong out using his buckshot and normal shots, I believe.
What's interesting to see is that at 3 minutes, there is already 200 goal disparity. 300 goal disparity.
No, I believe it's because of the time they spent hiding, so to speak. And also Nocturne did not start the boost first. So the goal build up is a bit slower on that side.
It's a little bit slow, but we shall see if they can actually catch up with that.
And again, going to happen at the top right now. Epions is coming out. There goes the fear as
stun.
well. Not the flash by Tofu. Going to move out from the fear. Going to be very safe. But right now, will Epions come up for a second gang? That is the question. That is the main question.
Oh, nice stun. Stun into Phosphorus Bomb, being able to melt down LY4 a little bit there. I think Atheons will take red and come back on top simply because Tofu does not have a stun, does not have a flash anymore, so it'll be a little bit easier to gank. But we shall
Definitely.
see how much Monkeys pushes his lane and allows Atheons to come back in.
Yes. But we can see that Alistar is opting to go for middle gank or maybe to bottom. He's being very sneaky right there. Ari opting to push the lane very quickly in comparison to Anivia. They seem to be.
I think they want to just take the advantage of pushing the lane, denying maybe a little bit of creeps.
I think it's actually because they want to avoid Alistar ganks, I suppose.
Perhaps.
Because Alistar ganks, once it happens, if you miss your flash timing as the hitbar comes in,
You're gone.
You're gone,
You're
definitely.
gone,
Yeah. So I believe that the plan for Goldens will be to push the lane as fast as possible and then maintain a safe distance, even though losing some CS maybe in the process, but it's going to keep you safe from dying. Overall, you want to make sure that you can sustain, stay on lane as long as possible, farm out as much as you can, and not die.
Yeah.
But at the same time, of course, want to try not to lose out so much in the CS. But I think it's going to be fine for 80 mid since their skills does allow them to farm very quickly.
I don't know, but I mean, for me, it's ooh, again goes in. Oh, nice dash out.
Oh, do you think that was a prematurely popped flash? Or there might we see a gang happening in the middle right there? And Ipian's going to be able to fear on darkness, and then might kill him right at the tower, but he's at the
he's not
tower,
gonna
so they're
take
going
it.
to, not going to be able to take the kill.
No, he won't. Valkyrie away. Looks like each lane has so much of interesting things. You're talking
Yes.
about Lee Sin on top that's now. He did dash away. He. I don't know. Maybe he should not have flashed because he already was pretty safe away. Alyssa did not have a hit, but just in case Aurelia were to dash in and stun him, you know, Alista was nearby to give in another pulverize, so just to be safe, keeping away. But
Oh, there goes a flash. Stun. And there goes a power rise onto Monkeys. And Monkeys is not going to make it out. There's no flash. Does not have any way to save himself. So there goes the first blood.
First blood.
Yeah, that was a good gang by Singapore Senators. They started taking advantage knowing that Lee Sin had no more flash.
No flash.
Actually ran around and flashed in to get the hit by a power rise.
And now FPL is going up top. Will he be able to get Irelia? I don't
So
think
he's
so.
going to be able. I think he's just going to push the lane back. For Aurelia being so aggressive, using up all his mana, he's just going to push the lane in front of the tower. And really, he's going to go back soon to get his items.
I think also that's now, for people wondering like why Lisa was just standing there, I think he thought he was safe. He was probably typing, you know, like, I'm going back now or something of that sort, and he just wasn't able to respond
Yeah.
just perfectly in time.
I mean, this is one thing good, I suppose, for Alistar as a jungler. Like when he flashes in, the headbutt lands, it's almost instant. You know, if you don't have a ward, you'll not be able to react in time to see that happen. So, in this what was the word? Sorry, in fair trade, in fair change, is that going to be a trade? Well, it's going to take hits on Kyling right there.
Just a couple of hits.
Yeah, it's just a couple of hits. But moving back, like if you use a Maokai instead, if the flash snare happens, you know, that would take a much longer time. Actually, gives people time to flash away, react, and move away. So that's why Alistar is one of those the most prominent junglers right now, as the speed of his gangs, so to speak. When it happens, it happens.
It's a surprise.
Yes, it's a surprise. So right now the bottom lane, Jaehyun actually being able to push back the early aggression from Janna and Grace. I believe it's because they pushed too close to the tower right now and it's just a fair trade.
A fair trade, yes. I think also because of the phosphorus bomb combination into Gatling gun. We do see the steal.
No, the steal does not happen. They're actually going to opt for the dragon. You're going to go for a sneaky dragon instead. And Ikiwoka just at 7 minutes. Ikiwoka does come in to see it happen, but is not able to react to this. So there goes the free dragon to KL Hunters. But Irelia being able to farm more at top lane is going to make it a bit hard for Lee Sin right now.
I don't think so. KL Hunters got it. Look at the goal difference. I think it was a steal with Janna's Tornado.
I am lost for words if that did happen because
Yes, I believe that did happen.
Okay, so no, but the Nocturne Smite is down.
It would have been perfectly in time where he might have smited it a little bit too early and Janna's Tornado would have picked up that very last bit.
Then, okay,
because the goal disparity is pretty large, so were they really that far behind? I wasn't keeping track.
No, based on the total CS so far, I don't think so.
It looks like it was a steal.
Wow. I lost for. I'm a bit lost for words right now because
it was unexpected, of course.
The unexpected free dragon instead became a free dragon for SGS, I suppose, so to speak. And you really need to look through the replay later and take a good look whether what happened.
It was amazing for Equivocal and Monkeys will go down.
Yes. And see, Monkey is definitely not able to farm because Tofu is putting a good job in holding the creeps in front of tower. And Monkey's
freezing the lane right before the tower there.
Putting Monkeys, opting to try and farm, putting him in a very big disadvantage because he's too far off from his own tower. And right now he is at a 39, 40 right now, CS difference. He's going to put top lane in a very bad position right now. So right now, in a sense, the top lane needs a lot of help from the jungle in order for him to catch back up very much, like a lot more, I suppose.
Yeah, also, we looked at on the top lane, Lee Sin has had 2 deaths and no kills, and Aurelia has 1 kill. Now, if you're looking at in terms of CS, that's a lot of difference. Ooh, the flight goes in. That reset.
And there goes a very quick respawn exhaust, cancelling Jaehyun the kill onto Equivoker. And now Alistar doesn't have his boost on mobility, so they're going to be fine. Not going to be able to suddenly charge you with the headbutt and power rise. So it's just going to be a fair trade, I suppose, pushing each other back and forth. Like they both had to go back to heal up, except for Graves. Graves is going to farm a bit more before he goes back.
Graves is going to farm a bit more. He did not take that much damage, but Jaehyung did use his flash for that and his Valkyrie, so he will be forced to go back.
And as well, there's no more wards at the bottom lane, so Alistar gang might come in for any time. There goes the headbutt, at the cow. The cow is just gonna push you, gonna nail you. I just impale you, I suppose, with his horns.
I would say impale, yes. He does have pretty large horns.
Wow, and Tofu being very aggressive and being spendy with his money. Not to say, sorry, aggressive wouldn't be the correct word, but he's been landing a lot of CS, landing a lot of kills, so he totally wants to counter the wards from Lee Sin, from Monkey, so he already bought his second pink ward actually.
I think they just want to be safe as well. So putting a pink ward there ensures that he is safe, that no possible ganks are coming in, because the first gank when Nocturne appeared there could have been fatal for Tofu if he did not have flash. So when it's transitioning to this stage of a game, he doesn't want Ari to be sneaking away there and then Nocturne flies in for a 3-man gank on top.
So right now we do see Kylie going to be very sneaky, standing in that brush, going to wait for Tyric to move too close and be able to hit the Polaris combo will come up. So we're going to, but I don't think is Hage or Jay going to get caught right here. Are they going to stand
It's
a
possibly
bit too
they
far?
are pushing the lane, so it's a matter of time before they have to move up, and when they move up, ooh,
Oh no, there goes a quick wall by Hage. Oh, there goes a flash hit by Polaris, but Jay is most probably going to be able to fly out, no problem with the Valkyrie. And the heal from Hage, they're going to keep him safe, and right now they're going to dive in, and if he's going to come in, going to be able to get the kill Equivoker this time. There goes a very good kill on Jaeyoung.
definitely an excellent missile bringing down Janna. So it was a 1-for-9 exchange. So
It was quite exciting to see,
the
like,
counter gank.
the counter gang, I suppose, so to speak. But then, I mean, I wouldn't have went in, I suppose, as the Alistar. I mean, I think they're being a bit too aggressive. Oh, there goes actually the gang, the stun, the paranoia coming. Oh, but Kali going to push Nocturne back. And while Jay
Valkyrie,
is going to be very aggressive, but they're going to have the fallback cause the Polaris is, Jay was actually going to be caught off position, but that buckshot it's not hitting him, it's going to be safe. Wow, so much action happening just after one.
It's simply because that when Jaeyoung Valkyrie in, he did not have enough mana to deal any sort of significant damage with his skills. So I'm not sure if it was a good enough calculated risk where you go in and you have Graves that has a quick draw that can still dash away from you, but I guess they really wanted to try their best to land the kill.
I believe they're trying to be more aggressive at the same time because I believe the Dragon did go to the Sentinels, so they need to really close down the goal gap from the beginning because at the top lane, Monkeys is not going to be able to do anything at all. As you can see, there's a level difference of 2 levels, and it was actually 3, Monkeys just leveled up to 8, so it's actually putting Monkeys in a very, very bad position.
But not only that, if you look at the items, Irelia has Sheen and Phage, while Lee Sin has 2 Dorans.
Yes, and only 45 CS, and the difference is just slowly piling up.
And the first Oracle has been bought on the side of Singapore Sentinels and is currently being used by Alistair. So going to walk around and hopefully, destroy more wards, denying vision for KLH Hunters, hoping that Singapore Sentinels will be able to snowball and dominate the map with, superior map control. It's also going to be Dragon really soon.
Wait,
They took Dragon first
Yes.
about 7 minutes.
there's 7 minutes, yeah. So,
Dragon's up.
Yep. So we're going to see how this goes. Whether the second Dragon fight will end up as a steal, or is it going to be where the team battle happens? Because right now, actually, all 4 of them are in position. Even Tofu is coming down right now. It's going to be 5 men at the Dragon. Epions is close by, but Ari is in the mid lane. Does not
And
know what's
Monkeys is
happening.
far away.
Yes, Monkey is just walking into position. So right now, will Epions be able to use his darkness to fly in to steal the Dragon and then fly out? So right now, we're going to see what happens. No, the Dragon goes to SGS, and right now that fight is going on, and Epions being burst down almost instantly. But they're moving on to Irelia for the KL Hunters.
goes down.
Yes, and the charm goes on to Equivoker, putting him in a bad position, but he's going to flash over the wall. Yes, he's going to save himself, but now Grace is being caught by the stun. Oh, but before he dies, he lands the kill onto Lee Sin, but it goes down as well. And the bird is still caught inside, I believe. Yes, unable to flash out without the flash. He's going to try to juke them around. With Jada helping him at the back.
Oh, the
actually,
failed
the failed flash right there.
But it's
Shut down onto Corky. That was a bad positioning overall by Jaeyoung. Be trying too aggressive to try to get the kill. And another kill going down for darkness. But it is a trade, but overall that was quite bad. Because SGS got the Dragon and they did get about the same amount of
They
kills.
still get the same amount of kills, but not
Yes.
only that Anivia actually got most of the kills.
Yes.
And on the other hand, Jaeyoung did get quite a bit of kills. So what's going to happen is that in the mid lane, Anivia, who's already post 6 now, will be able to dominate the lane a little bit better to Ari and push her out. But on the other hand, Corky, for the side of the bottom lane, should be able to do slightly better against Graves.
Yes.
Graves with his Bloodthirster already up. Corky getting his Bloodthirster really soon. he does have the advantage of having that one extra Doran's blade, so...
Yes. So it's going for now the bloodthirster stacks are just slowly piling up, so it's still going to be fine on both sides for Corki. Because in terms of doing a lot of damage, Corki still is able to do that better. If you're also popping his spell straight in time, you're going to feel the gang right there. Tofu being very
calm and collected.
Yes, calm and collected. Yeah. So right now we're going to see another gank maybe happen at the mid lane, and there goes tons of damage going down the Goldens. The Spirit Dash is really too slow, but still. Oh, Spirit Rush.
The fly from Etheon's
dashing in right there.
onto Kyling. Oh, the spell shield. That's not serious. Oh, wow.
Wow, so much damage done onto Goldens
Look
by
at that damage. If Goldens did not flash out of that, that would have been the end of Ari. Definitely excellent reaction timings on both sides of them.
But right now, coming on the top, as you can see, is definitely going to be Singapore Centers, as they did get both Dragons. They are 1 kill ahead, and also in the CS overall. And especially for the top lane, it's going to be very hard. As again, the lane has been pushed right into Tofu's tower. Tofu is just free farming. Yes, and he has his Trinity Force, the first item. And
Tofu is known for a person who stays on top and farms. And by KL Hunters allowing him to do that, I don't know how much it's actually going to benefit them, simply because they're losing out in CS and you're keeping Tofu in a very comfortable position of being able to farm.
So let's say if they do, like for KL Hunters, if they do manage to drag it to the late game, who do you think will have the better advantage in terms of the overall 5v5 fight later?
The overall 5v5 fight, it would depend on what sort of CCs does Singapore land onto whom on KL Hunters. So meaning, who do they actually stun? Because if Singapore Sentinels do stun off, for instance, Lee Sin, it leaves open for Corki and Ari to land a lot of their spells, which most of them do deal to multiple targets. So which is a good thing, and they can deal it out. But if multiple stuns go off, for instance, if Arena catches Corki and at the same time Arena dashes to Ari, it's going to be very difficult simply because they have lost all their damage and they're able to mitigate, any sort of possibility of them, attacking them for the next 3 seconds or so.
And right now, I'm going to see a gang two-man gang happen at the bottom. Wow, Kylie just dashing in instantly to the headbutt and power burst, putting Jay on the back position. There goes the exhaust on the Jae-Young as well, and there goes the kill for Grace onto Corki. And
that was actually really well planned on the side of Singapore Sentinels because Tariq had used his stun on Graves, where Corki was out of position. So without the stun being there, Alisa could happily walk into tower, land a pulverize, land a headbutt, and Singapore Sentinels and KL Hunters could do nothing because they had no stun.
Oh, there goes Epeon's actually getting caught right there, the headbutt, the stuns all going down to him, instantly burst down over all the damage, took him down so quickly.
It definitely did. I mean, there are 4 people there. Their AD carry and the AP carry both being there. The Janna being able to shield and to increase the damage of Graves even further. It's a lot of damage in a few seconds.
And the Bull running across the map with his boost of vulnerability. He has devoured, I think, about 5 wards so far, I believe.
I count 4.
Count 4.
I count 4. What's interesting to note that before this we were talking about Anivia if she was denied blue. And I said that if she did not have Chalice of Harmony, that would be really bad. But we see that Anivia does have a Chalice of Harmony, so even without blue, like Tofu could easily collect her blue, and Anivia still can farm really well. Because she does have the Rod of Ages and the Chalice of Harmony for the extra amount of mana and mana regeneration. But the question is, will Anivia go into a death cap straight after this, or will she actually finish the Athene's Unholy Grail for a little bit more defense?
Finishing up the Athene's Unholy Grail does not give you more defense currently. The magic resist, I believe, is the same for the Unholy Grail and the Athene's Unholy Grail, which is actually being buffed in the next patch.
Yes, it's only in the next patch. Sorry about that,
It's okay. And right now, again, Kylie running around like a boss, being the bull, gonna headbutt everyone into the bad position.
Looks like it's gonna be a 5v fight again.
And Marquis gets caught right there and gets burst down, all the stuns go onto him. Egon's trying to dive in, using Paranoid to save him, but not being able to do so in the Hagane. Stunning and taking the damage for Jae-Young while only Alisa moves on to him, and now Tofu going to pick up all the kills for Kobe with the Cup of LY4, and there goes 3 kills for nothing. The 5-man gang by SGS, well coordinated on
maybe
Golden's 4. Luckily the Frost
The Spirit Rush saved her being able to run out
Yeah. Oh, but no! Tofu actually
That's a
comes in
four.
from the back. There goes the 4th kill there, and Jaeon dashes in, but the exhaust goes onto him. He's not going to be able to get this kill most
It looks
probably.
like a penta.
Oh, no.
Thank God.
Yes, a shutdown. The blue buff going to Jaeon. And Grace coming a bit too slow right there. Whoa.
But still, that was a 4-for-1 exchange in favor of Singapore Sentinels. Definitely an excellent play done by them. Catching out the opponent's KL Hunters one by one, and this looks like there will be another dragon. They won't be able to do anything about it. And there it goes.
There it goes.
The 21-04.
Whew, right now the goal difference is about 10k. It's going to be very hard for KL Hunters to get back into the game. As right now the gangs is being much more stronger, going to be much more stronger for Alistar with his boost on mobility, add on to Australia right there. It's actually going to be so devastating for KL Hunters. When you see him, they're like, do we want to initiate onto him or we have to run? Because if you don't use our skills onto him, he's going to be able to soak out lots of damage. And then Irelia will come in from the back with Anivia slowly poking from behind. It's going to be so hard for KL Hunters to do a lot of things right now.
But also what's interesting to note is that in this game, there are hardly any wards. Look at the top half of the map. It's perfectly black.
I believe the wards just expired just now earlier when Alistar, I saw him, remember playing 2 wards up there and never mind, there goes the
Oh, and Hagani.
Powerrise and Hagani getting, then he flashes over the wall, the flashes right into darkness right there, giving darkness the kill instead, and the wall.
Oh, wow.
Not going to be able to stop Ari as she's spirit rushes over, but that was going to be for, not, I was about to say 1-for-1, but then they died Graves, was it? Or they got dived back? They must have tried to break the tower, but I don't think
They
anything
tried
much
to
happened.
break the tower, but Graves was there to stop Hagani.
And right now,
once
Lee
it-
Sin actually diving in. I'm not sure why though.
Wow.
Being a bad engage right there, going to be. Oh no, does not get burst down. Still with a little bit of health left. I will saving him. But then Ipion's going down and Corki taking the kill on Alistar. Now right now their mana, they're all low on mana because they don't have the blue buff. But Corki and RV still has a lot of mana. If Jaeon does choose to chase them down, it might be good for them because Anivia is out of mana. But no, they ought to be a bit safe because they do not see Irelia because Irelia is actually farming the red buff right there. I mean, if Irelia was right there, it's going to be very devastating for them.
I think no, but what's also interesting is that even though Corki did have mana and Ari did have mana, a single stun by Anivia could have devastated them because Graves could have slowly started shooting them and Janna could have just put up a shield to increase the damage. So it was still a 3v2, which isn't that great a gamble anyhow you want to take it.
Because I mean the stun need land actually just now. They use it to run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, if
was like,
Anivia land the stun on them together.
oh yeah, then that would be a bit different. Yeah. And right now Monkey's
Ooh.
actually gonna get caught moving.
Oh my.
Right, there goes
What a
Tofu
bait.
hiding right there. Gonna catch him right there, but no, if yours comes to save him, but they're gonna move back because they know they can't really beat Tofu right now with his
Red buff.
not only the red buff, Trinity Force, and almost finishing up the Omen.
Yeah, with the Warden's Mail up there, whoever does hit Irelia will be slowed. And it's definitely not a good thing simply because they have 2 AD damages there and you do not want to be slow moving on an Irelia that can easily dash around you and
And do true damage.
do true damage and also being able to stun you along the way and life steal off you in the end. So
Right here, SGS is actually going to steal the blue again. Yes, yeah, they do get it. I think it goes to Anivia. Anivia does get the blue right there. As you can see, there's no blue buff for KL Hunters. So it's gonna be quite hard right now. Oh, there's a fantastic wall blocking Ari, but there was no follow-up as everyone actually ran one round. They chose opt to break the first tower, and there goes the headbutt missing because Bogoden's move out of position from there. Using his ultimate, but he still gets caught with the multiple stars low. But the heal from and his flash saves him, and it's gonna be safe. But they're gonna lose the mid tower, and they might lose the second tower as well. Or did the first tower just broke? Oh, it broke long time ago. Yeah. And there goes Jaeyoung Valkyrie away, gonna be safe, but Young's getting hit by the stun. Overall, they seem to be quite devastated from overall composition and also from the positioning, getting caught from every single angle almost.
yes, the fact that KL Hunters got caught a lot of times is what led to them losing out so far in this game. Now they haven't lost, but their game so far has been a little bit strange in the sense that they had been warding up before this. They do note that many people are disappearing from the map, and they're still being, I would say they're being cautious, but they're not being very cautious. I see once again getting stuck.
I'm gonna dive right onto Anivia. And the fear goes down. There goes the flash, the charm. Gonna take down darkness here. But
Zonya,
Zonya.
very nice.
Just keep them there for a while longer while Area farm pops, and he's just gonna get burst down here by the 5 of them. And they're gonna push middle while Graves, I thought it's gonna push bottom lane, but no, it's gonna move back to the mid lane while Irilan's gonna push top, or is he coming back?
What's interesting to note is that it took that long to bring down Anivia. And he used so many of the skills. The flash went off, the charm went off, the orb of deception went off twice.
It's like there goes Kaine just walking in, not even going to hit, but just walks in, and power rise, being the bull that he is, not even scared. Maybe attracted to the rate of of Corki.
Definitely,
Just
but
moving
even he went into the engage. He took minimal damage. He took slightly more than a quarter damage from 4 people wailing on him. That's how much damage Alistar took, and that's why a lot of people actually wanting to use Alistar these days simply because he is that tanky, and he has also so much of life. From with the Heart of Gold, from the Shurelia, from there, and then he has another Ruby Crystal. He's going to build it into an Aegis. And oh, will they manage to steal this? Will Singapore Sentinels manage to get out of it alive?
We shall see. Because Ipias is moving into position. If they do get the ward down in time, if he paranoias in, there goes the paranoia should happen right now. No, but Jenna pushes him away. No! It goes to Singapore Sentinels, and all of them are put in a bad position as they did flash over the wall. There goes Lee Sin and Nocturne right there. Being totally unable to steal the Baron and giving the opponent 2 kills. Oh, because Darkness was not up. Did he use it earlier to... Oh, he used it earlier to die Anivia. And that's why SGS knew it was a time for Baron, I believe.
Not only that, because a lot of them were actually in base, and the Singapore Sentinels were actually grouping up already, so they decided that yes, they could definitely make a play for it and it would be strong. Most of the ultimates and most of the skills, like I said, went on to taking down Anivia, and it took that long, so they would have gauged that. I mean, for me, when I'm playing, if I can burst down the enemy champion in a matter of seconds, it knows that my team composition is superior. But if it's a 5v1 and you still take longer than 2 or 3 seconds, it just goes to show that you do not have enough to simply bring down one, let alone a 5v5. So with Baron there and with the amount of CC that Singapore Sentinels have, they could definitely have done it and, you know, be fine. Even if Paranoia were to go in there, Alistar could have been just waiting for the last bit to smite Pulverize, just in case Epions did come in with the Paranoia. And Janna was there as well. So.
And we can see that SGS is actually performing very well, actually taking down the timers exactly.
Yes.
And just now as you were speaking, they went to take on the dragon right there and moved very well coordinated from the Baron to the middle, and Jen actually planted a ward in the middle to see whether anyone will follow up, and they went directly to the dragon from there. So this, as you can see, Singapore Sentinels
It's
being
very
strong,
solid
very
strategy. Being able to play for objectives, getting each of the buffs, maintaining vision across the map, forcing the opponents to buy wards, to buy oracles, even though they are behind, to see what's happening around. And they have Kailing taking out another free ward.
Yeah, I believe he has
Placing
broken
another
at least like maybe 10 to 20 wards this game so far with the one single oracle.
Definitely.
Right now, let's see, take a closer look. The goal difference is going almost to the 20k mark with this tower going down. It's going to reach about there. About 51. But Tofu is actually just farming the red buff. Doing it very slowly. As they break the tower, they're going directly for the blue buff. Going to starve the entire KLH from getting anything at all. Getting any single advantage from the dragon, from the buffs, from even sight, just removing everything.
I mean, that is definitely one of the key plays that should be done. If you are ahead, you take slow, small advantages to move yourself further ahead. So when you can for vision, you take vision. When you can for buffs, you take buffs. You don't necessarily need to go there and continuously push and just waste 3 or 4 minutes or waste your Baron buff trying to chip away at a tower. You know, dominate the jungle, push everything away, being able to steal away, you know, a little bit more CS and deny KL Hunters anything else. Like, that's definitely what I will be doing as well.
And now it's going to do it. Engage in 5v5. They're going to dive right in because Kailing is so tanky right now. Just going to stick up all the damage dealt to him. Because tries to fear and try to press the tower, but no, it's going to get burst down instantly by the overall combination right there, and there goes Ari instantly also following on, and there goes Jae-yong as well.
Look at the life of Singapore Sentinels. They are hardly touched.
Yes, and mostly, oh, there goes Jana pushing away Terry from the inspection from the tower. As they dive every single tower right there to kick, there goes the ace right there. I believe Singapore Center is going to add. No, Equivoker's actually. Okay. I was about to say, going to add the game here while Equivoker recalled back to base, but no. And this is the best chance with the Baron
can
buff.
do for it, yes.
This is exceptionally well played from the Singapore Sentinel side.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, KL Hunters did not do so bad. I mean, I believe the 7-minute dragon they tried to make screw them over by a bit.
Yeah, and that was the turning point, definitely.
Yes.
And this will be GG. FPL's not even wanting to leave the base there, just being safe. And there you go.
There you go, the GG, the Nexus breaks right now. So that was a fabulous game played by both. We can see that they had Singapore Sentinels had everything planned out as well. And KLH also as well did try to plan the early dragon steal, which is right now not so, so to speak, quite uncommon.
It didn't work out well for them, but it was a very varied strategy that a lot of people are doing these days. Taking the early dragon at 7 minutes before the normal 13 minutes or so. So that actually gives them the advantage. But it did not happen this time with the Janna steal, and that's what I guess maybe threw the KL Hunters off a little bit, because perhaps they were banking on getting it done, but it did not really happen. So they felt maybe a little disheartened there. So
yeah, so we're now going to take a look at the scoreboard right now to see how the overall difference and how the kills, the items have been bought by them. So we can see that, oh, Alistar being in the jungle with 10.4k right there, actually being very rich with his 2 GP5s as well as from all the assists he's gathered right there. So right now we can see, as you can see, the overall score for KL Hunters is overall quite bad, I suppose. They were very harshly suppressed, so to speak, all throughout the game, which happened mainly because of the dragon we spoke about just now, because Lee Sin wasted a lot of times to go to the dragon, allowing Tofu to farm, but did not land it, and he said to be called back to base before it went out. So that will take at least about 2 minutes of free farm for Tofu right there.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's clear like what we had mentioned earlier about this being a gamble, and it did not pay off in a sense for KL Hunters doing this gamble, because the dragon got stolen in the end, and then the kills later went off for first blood when Lee Sin was already behind because he had left his lane, so allowing Aurelia to get a little bit more CS. He also got first blooded, so top lane was not doing that well. Mid lane was finding it difficult because once Anivia had her 6 up, the incoming gangs was pushing Ari away, so she could not farm that well. And on the bottom lane, it did pretty fine overall for both of them. It was pretty even. But what we do see is that I would say the MVP of the game is Kyling with his Alistar roaming around and destroying disrupting enemies and catching people off guard with a headbutt into the terrain and pulverize.
I'm going to make a bad joke about Kyling, so to speak. From a clown being a joke for everyone, supposedly receiving into it, he's became a bull, going to impale everyone with his.
I mean, he's a boss. He just goes in and
Yes,
goes
goes in. I mean, Kyling is being known well as a jungler, but most famously for using Shaco. And right now we have his new Alistar, I suppose, dominating the game, landing very good ganks overall, as well as controlling them, doing very well on the map control overall. So kudos to Kyling. Maybe I should call him Alistar next time, since he does looks to be the most built and biggest size for the Singapore Centers.
He is the
Everyone
biggest
else is
build.
more scrawny.
Well, it's either him or Tofu, so yeah.
So right now we're going to talk a bit about the IPL 5 that is going to happen this week. So as you all know, last week it was the you saw KL Hunters play again for the quarterfinals, and right now it's going to be for. Oh, sorry, the Singapore one came out first.
The Singapore one is going to happen tomorrow, which is the 7th, and it will be going on at Bukit Timah Plaza. I was actually talking about this in the podcast earlier. None of us had any idea where it was.
You should have asked me.
Yeah, but the winner of the Singapore qualifiers, the top 8 from there, the winner will go up against the Malaysian winners at the end of it. Now, there's a lot of prizes for the Singapore teams that will be going. It is 1,200 Singapore dollars with 5 sets of Logitech gaming keyboards and the gaming mices as well. And you can actually watch it both tomorrow. There will be a live stream for the IPL Malaysia that will be done from 11 to 4 p.m. tomorrow. And that will be casted by Joey and one of the members of KL Hunters, Don Murray. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what sort of side they have there. It is the semi-finals and the finals being played tomorrow, and is the KL Hunters, Orange Esports, Executed, and Abyss are the 4 teams that will be playing tomorrow. We are looking to see if KL Hunters can actually pull out a victory amongst them. We do have really strong teams such as Orange Esport and Abyss, with Executed being there as well. So yeah.
So moving on from this, the IPL, also going to be able to travel to the US for the finals, depending on who wins. We also have the biggest tournament for the year for League of Legends, which is Season 2 qualifiers, yes, which is going to happen this coming Sunday for the Malaysia side, the North region, 8 July. And for those of you who have not registered for the South region as well as the Central region, the registrations are both up. For the South region, it will be on the 21st of July, in the Central region on the 20th of July. And for more information about all these competitions, and also for the registration process, you can visit lls2.garena.com. Yes, and the champion teams for now, for these qualifiers, will actually receive cash prize of 1,500 ringgit.
That's a lot of money.
I haven't seen your team registered yet.
What team?
Your Century Clan, you know, your thousands of followers, your kids, your emo teenagers.
My emo teenagers. Yeah, it's simply because many of our members have actually joined the already pre-existing teams because our teams have been dissolved out to make new ones. So yeah, but we will be seeing Century players out there, not to worry.
Just scattered around.
Just scattered around, yes.
Okay, so hopefully you all join these tournaments and events that's coming up from our side. So right now, it's going to be moving right back to the next game later on. So we're going to move on a bit to the commercial ads. Do not worry, I will not kill Justin in the process. He will be alive.
See you there.
Yes, see you later.
It's the biggest League of Legends event yet.
The best players from around the globe are competing for the biggest prize pool in the history of esports.
Announcing the Season 2 World Championship. Riot and the entire League of Legends community have been watching Season 2 unfold, and the competition has been fierce. Early leaders like SK Gaming, CLG, TSM, and Dignitas quickly emerged, but upstarts such as MIG, World Elite, and Moscow 5 have exploded onto the scene.
Wanted to make a statement to players around the world when we committed to a multi-million-dollar prize pool. League of Legends will be an esports leader for years to come. So far, we've awarded over $1 million in prize money to teams around the globe. And one of those teams is going to walk away with the grand prize. We can't wait to see how many summoners watch the rest of this season's events. Just halfway through the season, more people are watching League of Legends than tune in to watch Major League Baseball games on ESPN.
The regional finals will come to you live from around the world. We kick off in mainland China at ChinaJoy in July, followed by Europe at Gamescom in August, North America at PAX Prime in September, Southeast Asia, Singapore and Taiwan, and wrapping up in Korea at the OnGameNet Esports Stadium. After the regional winners have been declared, the top 12 teams will then put it all on the line during the Season 2 World Championship in Los Angeles, California.
We want to show our players and the world that Riot Games is committed to elevating esports. And that's why we are raising the bar to where it belongs. This is not going to be your typical esport event. And it's all in support of the insane competition between the two best teams on the planet. The Season 2 World Championship. Tickets go on sale this summer.
Victory is ours! Hello Summoners, Tuna here with another episode of In the League, your weekly GPL show. They have done it! The Singapore Sentinels finally defeated the Taipei Assassins this past weekend in convincing fashion. And we have exclusive footage of what happened right after the match. Do notice that Charlie looks a little bit different in this video.
Hey guys, I'm more serious note, thanks for supporting us, and we won't be here without you.
But not everybody was ecstatic about the Sentinels' victory. Last episode, we asked the GMs who they thought would win, and we found out that there were some traitors in our midst. But we have ways of dealing with such treachery.
SGS is awesome, they'll always win, yay.
Go SGS! Chowie is stronger than the Nexus turrets and Tofu is sexier than stuff. The next time SGS will win.
Now it's time for some AMA with the Sentinels.
That should be answered by Jehudi. Jehudi should know. I think Jehudi will know better. Why don't you ask Jehudi? You should ask Jehudi.
Actually, my name is and that's who I am.
I love tuna. I mean this tuna.
Love.
And now it's time to announce the winners from last week's episode. June Toad, you've won yourself a nice Dr. Mundo t-shirt for liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. There was also a hidden quiz in last week's video, and Rav Caro Turtle, you win yourself a Blackthorn Morgana skin courtesy of Jasmine. And don't forget to catch the GPL this weekend before we go on a 2-week break. That's it for this week, and if you did enjoy the show, please subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. Till next time, this is Tuna, signing off.
So welcome back to the Garena Premier League Week 8 and Game 2. We saw a fabulous game played by Singapore Centres against KLH for the first game. And now moving on, we're going to see
Taipei
Assassins against the Bangkok Titans, where the Titans might get crushed by Assassins. You know, I mean, it's a bad analogy.
It's kind of a bad
I mean, okay, I don't say that Bangkok Titans have actually been improving quite a bit so far. With the new additions for the members. They've been doing quite well in the coordination and the fights, but overall, as a team, they still need much more to improve from there. So we're having some technical issues because we do have a new, do not worry, we have a new guy helping us overall with all the images, so he's a bit panicky right now, I suppose. He's intimidated by me, the teletables, you know, because I told him if he did anything wrong,
you'll hug him to death.
Yes, with the fiery flames of Annie, you know.
I think also for people watching, you actually get to see for the first time tournament realm and how it actually looks like. So many people actually have not even seen it, so a little gift for you guys.
I suppose.
All planned.
All planned. Yeah, so moving on about the Taipei Assassins against the Bangkok Titans, it's going to be something so interesting to see, you know. I mean, Taipei Assassins, they have been performing not so well for the past 2 games, I suppose, against Singapore Centres, to be more specific. They seem to be testing out more things, not really focusing on winning overall in the whole fights sometimes lately. Like because, I mean, GPL is a 20-week run tournament, so, you know, this does give you a lot of chances to try out new things, to see what works and what doesn't work.
And actually, I was talking about this, I think, a few weeks back in one of the GPL or one of my podcasts, I can't remember, that it's going to reach a stage in the whole tournament where teams are going to start trying different things, unorthodox things. The StarCraft will be cheesy things to see if it works, to throw the opponent off guard, because after you play it twice or 3 times against the same opponent, they're going to know your play style. So you need to have an advantage to do over it. So yeah.
So moving on, going to take a look at the Taipei Assassins team. So we're going to see who is going to play today. We haven't seen Colalin take the spotlight for quite a bit so far. You know, I think everyone misses her to see what's happening. And if no mistake, most probably be playing the support, AP carry next ABC or Toys, top Stanley, AD carry will be BB, jungle Lil Boss.
Yep. On the side of Bangkok Titans, we actually will be seeing the players that will be shown up on screen right now. We have BKT NVM on AD carry. We have top, which is Gino. We have Xerus on jungle. We have Leah playing AP carry. We also have the AD carry, which is played by Med, and Roti on support. So yes.
So this, as you can see, like BKT has been revamped totally. They'll be moving out a lot of the players. They're doing very well overall, you know, organizing these players together, getting new talent.
Yes.
You know, I mean, League of Legends is still a younger game in Thailand, so to speak.
Even in Southeast Asia, it's only 1 year old. So
yes. Yeah, so you know, it's going to be quite exciting to see all these new talent comes out for the GPL. You know, we're going to see for Malaysia side, we had the addition of Jae Yong. For Singapore Sentinels, it was
Chowie that got in, and then we see like Nix Water and all joining Saigon Jokers on the other side there. So there are a lot of players that are currently in the systems or in the the servers. That's what
the system. I was like, what?
Like system, like what? Yeah, so they're currently in the servers that are not on the teams, and they're being looked at closely by the teams. Hopefully, to get picked up. And if you are not a League of Legends player, if you are one of the other players, you can definitely come in there, and there's a chance for you, to get paid, to be a fully paid professional player here in Southeast Asia. It's unheard of, a couple of months ago, and now it's starting up to be something really great.
Yes.
You can see a future there, definitely.
I mean, if I had enough skills, maybe I would join them. You're laughing at my
No, I was laughing at myself. I was like, I can't even qualify for a team to be for Season 2 qualifiers, let alone how am I going to get into KL Hunters. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move into the champion session screen. You're going to see the picks and bans, and there goes Malphite, I suppose, TPA banning off the bane of Malphite.
Yes.
Almost winning them for the first game with SGS using it, and the second game, SGS did beat them with Malphite.
I mean, we did talk a lot about Malphite in the first game, that Malphite is the flavor of the month. Everybody likes to use Malphite simply for his engage, his burst capabilities, and his overall tankiness to stay on the top lane or to be versatile as a jungler.
Malphite used to be one of the, I think it still can actually be one of the quickest jungler after you get blue.
Yes.
Like so far I've calculated it's like one of the fastest, just slapping all the creeps with splash damage for his second skill, at the third skill, just splashing everything, just destroying, decimating the creeps instantly, very quickly.
He's on the same tier as with Shyvana with blue and Skarner with blue. They all clear off very fast simply because they have lots of AoE skills. We haven't seen very much any Skarners in GPL yet.
Yes, and we see an instant ban on Bangkok Titans side for the Urgot. Going to be very wary of TPA's Urgot, as it is very powerful and very versatile in the style they played so far. Like, I mean, they did play a tanky Urgot, and there was once when they had a lane change, I suppose, where Urgot went to top, he instead went for Manamune and Bloodthirster.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, that is the game where Urgot and Tariq went top. Oh. Is that a different game?
I'm not sure.
But the thing is, Urgot is a very solid AD simply because he can harass with his Noxious Blast and all his missiles flying at you.
Definitely.
With his ability to remain tank, he has his shield up there and his ability to swap, so yes.
Okay, so as you can see, the ban is going down to the Nocturne and Shen, Morgana and Anivia. We're going to move a bit quick because there's a slight technical side. It's going to be a rehost after this, I believe. And we're going to see them most probably, I think something went wrong on the tournament realm server, but it's not a big worry from there. But as you can see, the bans have been done very quickly there. Morgana, Shen, the popular bans being taken out, and Nocturne as well being taken out.
Nocturne being taken out, Malphite definitely being taken out there. But it's okay. In the meanwhile, while they rehost the game, we can listen to some of Teddy Tiver's new jokes.
Jokes? I have jokes? Wonderful!
You know what you should do? You should do your Annie impression.
No. Have you seen my bad Tibbers? Even the laugh, Come on, you should be more supportive.
I still find it really, really ticklish. Like, I mean, I definitely find it really interesting that you can actually imitate, Annie being up there.
I know, it's just that, Annie is my master. So
Annie's your master.
Okay. Moving back into the champion selection, so the bands will definitely be instantly taken out very quickly. Not in the correct order, but in the same champions, and then the picks will move on from there. And we can see that Bangkok Titans being very wary of the top picks or the strong picks from TPA, where they take,
that was fast. That was very fast.
I suppose Alistar as well is the other favorite so far, since the new buff, which buffed up quite a lot of the tanky champions, like tanky support champions, so to speak. Like
giving them some magic resist.
Yeah, magic resist per level, which actually makes a very big difference. I used to play Alistar when the pre-buff. He could tank very well early game, but when he was about half of the game, second half, when the AP burst had more AP, it was like without the ultimate, there's so much damage being done to me.
Post level 11, where the APs really had the second level of the ultimate being up there. You were talking about Kuala not appearing, and we do see Kuala play for Taipei Assassins.
Crap, no, I'm casting right now, I can't see your face. Very sure. Anyway, so we can see that BKT actually taking out Twister Fate, going to go for a global mid ultimate, so to speak, and also knocking down the Grace, which has been their solid pick so far, I believe. They tried to lock down Grace quite a bit so far. And we can see that TPA actually going for their Nunu and Vayne combo.
Very strong, very strong.
So we're going to have to see what is the support being picked on BKT side to counter this. Because if a stand lands from Stanley, not Stanley, what am I talking about? If the stand from BB does land with the buff, Blood Boy buff from Nunu, it's going to do tons of damage overall to the AD or the support. Of course, you want to hit the AD because Grace does do a lot of burst damage overall.
Yes, I think maybe one of the wiser choices either could be Tariq or Leona, simply because they have the stun. So if Vayne does tumble in, they can immediately get ready for the stun to appear once she comes out, denying the triple stacks, and true enough, it is Tariq. Hopefully they do lock in. Because even if they do take Soraka, with the true damage being dealt by the Silver Bolt, it's not going to work out well for Graves. So having a stun out there to stop it will definitely be better, and it has actually been locked in.
Yes.
Now we do see the opposite from what we had on the other game, where Singapore Sentinels had a high CC team. This time we see Bangkok Titans having the high CC team. With Nautilus being able to disrupt there, with Twisted Fate being able to stun, Tariq as well being able to stun, but we see Galio and Vladimir. Menacing.
Not only double AP, but as well as
double AoE.
Double AoE. Actually, it's not only double, it's actually
triple AoE. Wow.
Yes. If the combo does land perfectly well with the Galio ultimate, the Noon ultimate, and the Vladimir ultimates,
it's going to be insane. Vayne is just going to go there and happily shoot. She doesn't even need to tumble, she'll just shoot and everybody will just die.
Yeah, she might get a free pentakill just by shooting them one by one as they absorb all the damage.
And if anybody escapes, Alistar will be there to knock them back into Vayne's range. So.
Yes, definitely. So this is going to be interesting to see how BKT is going to counter this, so to speak, in the sense of this strong composition of AoE ultimates that will definitely do tons of damage overall.
What's interesting is that because two of these AoE ultimates are channeling, and Bangkok Titans does have a lot of CC, if they can time it right and if they aim it to the proper person, it can disrupt straight away, and that could leave a lot of advantage to Bangkok Titans, with Nautilus being able to throw a depth charge through 5 of them, disrupting them. We see Aurelia being picked up here, being able to dash in and stun, Tariq as well, and then Graves being able to buckshot them. So it can go either way. It all depends on what's actually going to happen within the game.
But the main thing for picking Aurelia, in my opinion, is that because she does have the ability to cancel off CC very quickly. And the only CC that she cannot cancel off, so to speak, will be Alistar's Power Rise. Yeah, because it's a knockup. You cannot cancel the time you're knocked into the air, so to speak.
I mean, you can't necessarily cancel his headbutt as well, which we did see that it's a very fast-moving headbutt.
I mean, if you don't do a headbutt power rise combo, you actually can move. If you have a Mercury chest, the headbutt lands, you can actually move
slightly a bit out of the range of it. Yes.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to see whether when Aurelia gets caught by the Galio taunt, which she's going to move instantly, dive into Vayne after that, because the taunt will last for maybe 0.5 to 1 second with Mercury Stress with a mix of a passive.
Yes.
Yes, Ionian Fervor, I believe. Yes, Ionian Fervor, which will increase her tenacity, so to speak, reduce the amount of CC timing.
Yeah, reduce the hard CC that actually is dealt to her. Now, soft CC, like for instance, slows on Arena, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Simply because, you know, she can just dash to the enemy champion.
Yes, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how well this Irelia plays it out overall. And this team composition so far is going to be very good. So I'm always interested to see Stanley's runes. I mean, once in a while it comes up with something spectacular, something different from the norm. Or is it going to be something the same? Oh.
We actually have seen these runes before.
No, but normally for the seals, he will go for health at level 18. 1/7 health. Normally
we normally do see him doing that, but I believe in the early weeks of GPL, if I'm not mistaken, week 1, he did have this similar where he took armor set out there to become like one of these really tanky champions.
So to beat out the top lane in trading hits, more likely.
Possibly simply because Irelia is there and she can deal, she does deal more AD damage. So I believe he is very confident that he can land his Sinjin pools out just in time to mitigate any sort of damage. So he can trade off the extra health there for armor. Because we do see on the other side, we have Nautilus, we have Graves, we have Turret that do deal a lot of AD damage. So in case he gets caught out there, you know, he's
they will
able
definitely
to
help him survive better.
100 health to 13 armor. I think armor is definitely a better trade-off there. Yeah.
Early start.
For the early stages, definitely, yes.
And we can see that, Graves actually going for Flash and Cleanse, and so for BB, this is going to be very exciting to see. I was about to say, BKT will have to spend some cash to buy Cleanse for the AD carry. I mean, QSS, Quicksilver Sash. But right now it's opt to take Cleanse and not Ignite. As you've actually seen it very well, like for BB, he takes the Cleanse because he knows the opponent AD will take Ignite. Actually, when he's about to die, he actually cleanses the Ignite and tumbles back in for the kill instead of running away.
It's mind games. That's what they play. You think that the person's going to die, and when it comes down to it, you cleanse away and then you dive back in. It's the same thing as heal baiting. You wait your very last hit, and then either your support heals you or you summoner heal, and all of a sudden your enemy is too close to the tower or within tower range, or has wasted their skills to chase you with flash or things of that sort, and you turn around and get on them. So you play mind games.
But right now, the heal bait has been cancelled out, so to speak, because it has been nerfed 3 times in total after the new introduction of it, I believe. Was it twice?
I believe it is twice that it was removed out, like in the sense of it got nerfed out. Also before this, there were the masteries where you could improve how much of healing were done to your allies. And now that's no longer there anymore. So it is perfect 50% that's passed on to your allies. It's no longer the same as when Soraka could use all 3 of her heals and it used to heal like for tons and tons of life.
I suppose they want to stop that overpowered sustain overall.
Yeah, definitely.
In a sense, yeah. So a lot of ADs right now have opted to take Ignite instead of heal. So I mean sometimes the heal can be used better, but you must change your mindset of I must not heal too late.
Yes.
You must not try to heal bait too hard, because Ignite happens and your heal is going to be cancelled out.
Yeah, it's really bad when people think that I'm going to wait to the very last moment, and then the opponent throws down a Ignite and it mitigates the entire heal. It kind of wastes the point of having the heal in the first place. So
yes,
that's one of the gambles we need to play off with.
Like League of Legends overall is like how not only for skills, it's how strong of a psychological mind game you play, as we did see. So right now you're going to move into the game, and you're going to see, I think TPA is going to be aggressive, I suppose, because they do have the higher burst, but not the higher CC in the beginning.
They also do have the earlier advantage. They have the King of Invade, Alistar. And they also have Vayne. So if Vayne does stake, she has not put up any of her skills yet. If she does stake either Tumble or Condemn, it's going to be an excellent invading tool, and it looks like as if there's something that's going to happen there. It's going to be a 4v5 fight with Tarek completely on the other side.
But I believe Tarek is going to, he's going to plant the ward on their blue as they are going to go for the blue. But I believe that actually TPA is going to go for going to go for the raid, and Tarek is actually moving right into position. Oh no, there goes the power rise, and there goes the condemn. There goes the GG. First blood.
First blood. I like how Galio waited to the very last moment and then used his skill shots, flying, slowly push. getting. It was like poetic.
I mean, so to speak slowly, but it has been buffed to fly faster for the Resident Smite. So it's really interesting to see, especially he's using the Gatekeeper Galio. I get to see all the fancy stuff happen later.
The green, bluish fire, yeah.
Yeah, so right now, I believe they're still going to try to gank Little Boss after he gets the blue. See, they're still hiding right there. They're definitely going to steal Alistar away from his blue. As normally, we have seen that after Alistar does get his blue, he will normally gank mid or top instantly after that, going for a very quick and solid fast gank. So we're going to see whether Vladimir gets caught if he does travel into that direction as well or not. It's going to be quite interesting to see whether this first blood transitions over to a dual kill for Bangkok Titans.
It could possibly end in a double kill that would actually bring Bangkok Titans slightly ahead from what they had in first blood.
Yes, and there goes the timing. They're moving in right now, and Stanley does see it, and the flash, instant flash reaction does save him from being decimated, instantly burst by every single CC out there, of the Golem being very disobedient, actually running back to the position.
Smite goes off, nice, not taking the smaller lizards there, and the timer will be slightly pushed off. I'm not sure what sort of game Bangkok Titans were going to play, but if they were playing for objectives, they should have cleared it off because then they have the perfect time of when blue's going to come up again. But I guess they just want to deny it as long as possible for Taipei Assassins. For Taipei Assassins now, their blue timer has still not begun simply because the little lizards are still there.
But Alistar not opting to go too aggressive for the blue instantly, actually going to opt for the raid, and then most probably gang mid or bot, because bot will not have any space for him to gang because Vayne is just free farming right there. Already farmed 2 ways, actually hitting the power is right there, and Nunu going to farm the ward, and Graves slowly traveling with Tyric back to the lane.
I think it would be easier actually to gank the bottom lane, but I do believe that Alistar will not actually want to do that. He is slightly behind, so he just wants to catch up, I guess, in terms of jungle. Perhaps maybe get to about level 3 or 4, where his pulverize becomes slightly stronger and he's kept back there. He also has his heal up, to transfers any sort of damage that he gets from doing a gank.
I'm going to cut you from that altogether, but look at Galio's item actually.
Exactly.
He has a Philosopher's Stone.
Because of the first blood that he got up there.
Yeah, so he must have bought actually the Regrowth Pendant and the Health Port only.
Yes.
For with the first blood, getting Philosopher's Stones instantly is actually going to push up his advantage by a lot. We have seen that for toys, he's trying out a new style, which is actually a few players have been doing.
Yeah.
Where they actually, for the mid champions, actually stack up the GP5s.
Yep.
And they go for the end game.
In fact, I'm not sure if he's using GP5 runes.
I also think about that actually.
Because a lot of players have been doing that, but they just sit there and they farm, and they can farm so well. What's interesting to note is that Alistar did get a Doran's ring.
Oh, wow.
I think he just wanted it simply. Whoa,
Oh,
wow,
there goes
look
again.
at that.
Oh, the flash is a bit too late and it was wasted, and the buff. Oh, I was going to go to Galio, but the boss takes it instead.
It was the red buff.
Yeah, so I mean the red lizards got it, but I mean it's hard to control that sometimes. It's very frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when it's down to that very last bit of life and it's an AP champion where their attack speed is really slow,
Yeah.
so securing is a little bit difficult. But I do believe the reason why he got the Doran's is because he did not get the blue buff.
Yes.
So getting some sort of extra life with some extra mana regeneration would definitely help him out a little bit there.
And also overall, it will allow him to clear his jungle much quicker because the AP does stack with his all his abilities ratio. Yeah, but for me normally, if I do fail, I'll get the Fairy Pendant instead. But I mean, everyone has the different styles and opinions on this.
Of course,
but
yeah.
I mean, Doran Rings is a very good item for Alistar, and there goes a gang right there. Oh, never mind. I thought I was going to do a headbutt and power rise.
Pushing him away.
Pushing him away.
But even now with a single push, because of the red buff that is there, Aurelia or whoever he does touch does take some extended amount of damage.
But then I do But I mean, I do remember the days when red buff actually procs off spells, which made AP jungle so much more viable.
It was insane when Gangplank with red buff and he just starts his what was his ultimate cannon barrage?
Yes, I believe it's Cannon Barrage. Let me check for you. Yes, it's Cannon Barrage.
Yeah, and he just throws it across the map and nobody can escape. You have the slow, then you have the red buff proccing on top of it.
And not only that, like Fiddlestick Jungle was quite famous then as well.
Yes.
With his ultimate, everyone is like GG.
What people used to get then was they used to get a Frozen Heart or Ryla's Crystal Scepter, and it used to be even worse, so you just get stuck forever inside there.
Yeah, and now we can see Nautilus being a bit aggressive, finding the ward there. I think going to try to get the blue timer correct to see whether maybe Galio travels to there or is there, or just going to avoid gangs up
The
top.
blue timer is actually at 10 minutes 42 seconds, if I'm not wrong, because Alistair did clear off the small lizards and the blue buff at about 4 minutes 40 seconds.
Okay, I thought it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Maybe I got that a bit off. But right now we can see that Galio is. Yes, I believe maybe he's ahead. We should have checked his routes. Maybe going for GP5. As you can see right there, it is.
Immediately into a second goal of heart at
Goal of
6.
hearts?
A heart of goal.
Goal of hearts.
Oh, BB getting shot down there from the stun. NYM beating.
I mean, in terms of training hits, you're not so scared with Nunu because Nunu's Ice Ball slowly rolling does slow you down in terms of attack speed, movement speed. So it's actually will put Vayne in the advantage with the Blood Boy. In terms of training hits, if the buckshot does not land well, like all 3 hits land, it's not going to be that devastating.
That is true. But on the other hand, also, Graves is a more mana-hungry champion compared to Vayne.
And they're trying to be very aggressive onto BB right there. Tarek throwing all the stuns when he can, and BB just tumbling away while Nunu throws his Ice Blast, stopping that. Wow, see Lady Boss being a boss right there. Gonna walk through, tank 4 tower hits, and then go for the kill, but is he gonna get killed by the... There goes the counter kill.
A bit slow.
It's a bit off, and Toys, just having barely enough mana to run away there, and he's going to be safe. I was about to say Toys is in bad position, not going to have enough mana to cast anything, but it proved me wrong.
Just a little bit there. Definitely, he does have the Philosopher's Stone, so the mana regeneration helped him out there.
And BB being very aggressive.
Wow.
As soon as Tarek land the stun on Nunu, and Nunu land the Ice Blast on Graves, he instantly popped his ultimate and dived in to do damage. As you know that his damage will not be stopped by Tarek at all.
I think also what's interesting to note is that I'm not sure if Vayne has actually used her cleanse, but if not, Vayne is saving the cleanse for a very clutch moment where it's going to come into play.
Yes, she has not used the cleanse yet. We have seen both sides have not used the cleanse yet, just slowly poking each other down till the jungler comes into forward, which is most of the time when it does happen for the cleanse. Right now we can see that Irelia being a bit more weaker against AP champions in the early stages in the top lane, is being pushed back by Vladimir.
But it's the same thing as what we saw in the previous game, where Irelia just sits at a tower and she can farm.
But right now, the whole team, for TPA is actually opting for GP5. Except for the AD carry and jungle for now. I mean, the jungle is going to go for GP5, but he has gone for the Dawn Wings first and the boost of mobility to have a better startup.
I mean, many people are opting for this simply because it's the safer route to go. Getting GP5, you don't have to force the kills.
Yes.
You can just sit and farm in lane. No, but what's interesting is that if you do have Twisted Fate on your team and you're running GP5s again, the amount of gold that you can get is amazing.
Lady Boss going to be caught up for position right here, going to be killed, going to get decimated, the Destiny goes down. No, but Little Boss still being safe, flashing out just nice, and they're going to move back. I thought Galio was going to use his ultimate, but it's actually still on cooldown, not up yet. Yeah, I mean, BKT actually doing a good job. They know that TPA will be very aggressive. They actually planted a ward earlier beforehand. And Tidy Assassin did plant their ward, but it's not in the bush. It was actually planted on the blue buff to see when it will come out exactly and whether they'll be doing it at the same time.
That actually could have gone really bad for Bangkok Titans, but just because Galio had used his ultimate already and Vladimir was nowhere to be found within there, they managed to come out unscathed. However, if Galio did have his ultimate and he flashed in on it, it would have been very devastating with Vayne just sitting up there.
One thing that is troublesome to deal with against Vayne and the Nunu combo is that you can't really return that much damage against Vayne unless you can do very, very high burst damage.
No, but simply because she has a Vampiric Scepter, so with the increased attack speed, with the increased amount that she can lifesteal in 10 seconds, it's not easy to actually bring her down, or unless you can land a three bullet box shot on her.
Definitely, and Vayne doing a very good job in terms of training hits, putting him up in the advantage because he did the trick, proc his silver bolts while just dodging the buck shot, even though getting hit by one bullet, but exchange in terms of total damage, it's very, very different. And Stanley already running the bush, going to be very aggressive, going to try to push the lane as fast as he can, so to speak, which is not normally the case, but I really, against Irelia, sometimes you want to actually be more aggressive towards her because you don't want to farm up. And Little Boss actually getting ready for the gank. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. And there goes the power rise and the great buff proccing onto Gino, the hit buff knocking her back, but he's just going to move out very slowly, no problem.
A little bit too, Gino still moving a little bit too fast. Little Balls could not do anything much about that.
I mean, Irelia is one of those champions with just level 1 boots. She actually moves faster than a lot of champions with level 1 boots, or level 2 boots overall. Because of this, movement speed is 320 if I'm not wrong.
I believe that is correct.
Yes,
It's the same actually that goes with Nunu. Nunu on Blood Boil and Vayne with level 2 boots, Nunu actually walks faster. I know this because I actually played quite a bit of Nunu.
Yes.
So
yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns off right now. I mean, right now it's a bit of a stalemate in terms of the killing and farming phase. I mean, the early kills did go to TPA. Bangkok Titans is slowly trying to catch up in terms of the CS, total CS, as well as all the kills. Now Nautilus trying to go for the game, but actually walked past the ward just now. Did not notice
He did not notice it. No, he did not.
And right now, going to not be able, knowing that the wall is there, going to move back for a while. I suppose he will come back from behind or instead go for the middle. And Little Boss with his boots of mobility, going to be a boss as well. Going to just counter jungle and move around the map as he pleases, planting wall to keep him safe as he does counter jungle.
What's interesting to note is that Toys has gotten a Chalice of Harmony. It looks like he's going for Merc Threats.
As well, yes, I believe so. I was about to say that I thought that he would actually go for Kage Lucky.
No, normally
Cage Lucky pick.
Cages Lucky pick, yeah. I mean, 2 GP5 items is really actually quite a bit, especially if you're running with Seals or Quints.
Definitely. I mean, that would be interesting to see because I've seen my friend play not GP5, but total will be actually GP 7.2.
Okay.
Using the masteries and the roots and being a mid lane AP like Anivia. So she gets the 3 GP5s and then after that gets the blue buff, it just secures the lane.
Destiny goes on.
Destiny goes on and
the
there
death
goes
charge.
all the stuns. And the stuns coming out from BB, a bit wrong timing, a bit too late. I mean, negating the stun from Tarek but unable to negate the stun from Twisted Fate.
I like how Matt actually walked back and shifted the tower aggro onto Nautilus so that he would not actually die to the final hit. I think that was really well timed, but you saw how many CCs were actually required to go down. Required Destiny, the yellow card, Tarek's stun to go up, and we needed Nautilus anchor to be there.
Wow, now Stanley actually going to move in for the kill onto Irelia right at the tower. Actually doing very well. He moved out of position, like baiting the Irelia to move in as he slowly moved out as he knew that the stun on Irelia might kill him. The tower does do the aggro on him. It's very well played by Stanley right there.
Definitely very well played.
And right now we can see maybe a gank in middle because Nautilus is in the area and now Little Boss as well has gotten his oracles. Gonna move around, gonna try to deward everything. But there's only one ward left on the map.
I'm very sure that they will not try a gank against Galio simply because Nautilus does deal quite a bit of magic damage with his, what's it called? Subterranean charge?
Death charge?
No, Death charge is his ultimate, the thing
passive?
that explodes around him.
Oh, you mean Riptide?
Yeah, his Riptide that does deal magic damage. And with Galio being so heavily on MR, with a Negatron's Cloak, with Chalice of Harmony, with Merc Threads out there, it's definitely not going to be very effective.
And right now, here goes being a very aggressive. Oh, Little Boss.
Wow, look at that.
Yes, the clan's going down, but it's not going to save you from 2, 3. So 3 going to count the silver boats. Is it going to be a double kill right here? Nautilus is going to get caught. Nope, the soul does not land. He's going to move out and go off for the tower and dragon, or more immediately for the dragon. Let's see.
I would say dragon. Yep.
I think blue buff.
Oh,
there goes the wall. Oh, power rise table instantly catching Nautilus right there, but Galio's Resolute Smite a bit too short. And right now they're moving on to the blue. Nothing much they can do because Crystal Fate is not there, but Irelia is moving into there, but as you can see, the overall damage is so strong. And Toy's moving a bit too slow, trying to cast his ultimate, wanted to catch both, but a bit too slow for being Galio, as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, Galio is one of the slower moving champions out there.
Unless he has his skills cast out for the blue.
Yeah.
Right now, after taking the blue, one champion down, now we're going for the dragon. Going to put Taipei SSS into a much favorable position.
I like how everybody actually started walking away from the dragon thinking that he died.
Yes.
And then he did not.
I was like, well, what happened there, you know?
No, it was not lag. They just thought that dragon went down.
Oh, and we can see that Little Boss, because he did not have a good early game, actually got Johan's shield and Johan's rune. I suppose since his teammates are all getting GB5s, he's going to slow down his gold. Going to be more tanky and do more damage on the early stage.
Wow,
So
look at that Galio with an Abyssal Scepter at 16 minutes. Menacing to go up against. And we also see that on the side of Vladimir, he is going to build up. Ooh, definitely.
I believe Stanley might be able to get a kill.
Oh,
Not
maybe
being able
yeah.
to respond, no, not at all. Not. I mean, if he was able to cast his ultimate,
He did.
oh, he did? Oh, but he did not use his. Oh, maybe because he cast his ultimate, he couldn't sanguine pool in time. I just saw the power of that, so I'm not sure which one it is.
Oh,
And there goes
wow.
Toys going in for the double kill,
nice.
moving on for a triple kill maybe. As
I don't
he
think
does,
so, Triple.
it might happen. I mean, there goes that damage right there. He has
wow.
his Abyssal Scepter. He does have a Mercury Chest and the Chariots of Harmony. His AP is very high, you know, and there's nothing much you can do. Oh,
Oh, it's Leah, stun him.
no, Leah, I think he missed his card right there because he did not use his. He did not pick a card after so long, you know.
I mean, he did pick a card, but he did not go into stun. So when he wanted to go in, the
Oh, yeah.
cards already dissipated, and he actually went on cooldown.
And that was a totally bad trade for BKT, as you can see right there. The bottom lane, TPA is actually pushing into the inhibitor already.
They
And there
actually
goes the
can
headbutt, and there goes the power rise. No, did he use the power rise on Graves? I don't think so,
No,
because
I
Graves
don't
was
think
pushed quite far away. And there goes the ultimate from Little Boss, cancelling down the everything, and there goes the cleanse. There goes the Nunu ultimate cleansing a bit prematurely. I thought she would sacrifice herself to allow Vayne and Alistar to run, but I think she misclicked, or was it a stun on her?
No, I think it was purposely done simply to slow everybody else down. And and Vayne and Ali were supposed to walk away, but they decided that, you know what, maybe we could try to do some things, hence they did not actually move away. They did not fully run back.
You know, actually there's this funny joke made from us. You know, we used to say that, you know, when Colalin actually neglects the AD when the game happens. You know, she actually runs first, faster than the AD, you know, and then she makes sure that she's safe, not the AD that's safe. You know, I mean, as you can see right now, that is actually wrong. As you can see, she did try to sacrifice herself.
She did.
Yes, to keep her teammates safe as a support.
She did not try, she did.
Okay, yes, I mean, yes, she did.
But
Correct.
Galio is being, I would say, the biggest boss in this game. 5-0 with 186 CS, with an Abyssal Scepter, with a needlessly large rod. That's just amazing items at 18 minutes. That's a super, super fat Galio there.
You know, maybe to please the viewers, you know, I should totally go after this, get a screenshot of his runes and see whether, and masteries to see whether it's actually, you know, all those gold generation runes right there being used
I
by
definitely think so. I mean, how can someone, you know, get that much gold?
so quickly? And you can see, I think this is going to be very devastating because, you know, the Emma stacking up for Mecha Titans is actually very little right now. I mean, they're trying to stack it up quite a bit. Against Galio's items right now, with the Abyssal Scepter and with the needlessly large rod, you know, it's still going to be very, very painful.
It's not going to be only very painful, but the sequence of time which Mecha Titans is getting it now, we only see Twisted Fate with a Leviton Cloak, and we see the Null Mantle Cloak, if I'm not mistaken, on Aurelia. There's two of them there, and nobody else has any other MR, so
I mean,
there's not even anybody building into an Aegis of Legion yet, which could possibly help out the team.
So we're going to see, this will depend mostly on how well Nautilus and Tarek can perform right now. I mean, they will be able to save themselves more. They do stack the Aegis of Legions. You do grant a big boost on MR for the entire team. Visits on double AD. I have no idea why Tarek actually opt to run back from there, getting caught instead burst down with all these
Because he
CCs.
saw Vayne and Nunu actually at bottom, and he thought the safer route would be going to Vladimir.
He was just stuck.
He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Right?
You're not maybe actually leading the charge, you're going to be very aggressive, you're going to poke on the inhibitor first, and TPA is actually going to charge in. I'm going to see a flash ultimate.
No, I think he's just waiting for them to dive onto them before he actually engages. Because if he does flash ultimate, he's using up his flash, so if things do get a little sticky, he doesn't have that But if the enemy team, if Bangkok Titans does move on to Galio, he saves his flash and is just able to ultimate wherever he is at.
But one thing good about, I suppose, the game is that the skill shot animations, the skill animation cast actually matters. Like, you know, if Galio is about to cast his ultimate, there is a channeling time. And for Irelia, even if she gets hit by the ultimate bar, she really casts out the stun will land and cancel Galio's ultimate. Yeah. So these are actually small details that you need to be careful of. So when you do try to flash ultimate or do something big, you must be realized that are you going to be quicker than opponent in the sense of whether they easily cancel out your CC.
And many players actually don't do that. So if you are looking to make very clutch plays, you need to look at not only what's happening to yourself, but what's happening on the enemy's team. Is the animation actually taking place? And if there's an animation that's taking place, such as Vince tumble, or just as she's about to go into Night Hunter, there's kind of no point because you can Night Hunter onto her, but she'll still run out of it.
Yes, definitely. I mean, these small things will actually let you know, like, when the champion does stop movement, you know that he's going to do a different animation, do something, certainly. So these are the small things you could use that I believe a lot of pro players do pick up to know, try to guess the movement of the opponents most of the time.
And this is what basically high ELO players actually play for, and how they can make very decisive judgments, especially with Twisted Fate's Destiny, into certain areas where they realize that the cooldown timers have already gone off for the enemy team. They've already wasted everything there, so you know, it's time for him to go in, and he'll be uninterrupted when he comes there.
Definitely. And right now, TPA actually going to move on to the Baron with Galio pushing the mid lane and the top lane being pushed by Stanley. It's going to make them feel that there's actually not a Baron going on, but as you can see, Nautilus and Taric are uncertain to where to go to because they just see Stanley at top and Galio is basically in the middle. I do know they think that something fishy is going on, but actually guys going to go for the ward, not going to move to
I'm not sure what that was about, but okay.
Maybe Kolali tried to KS, secure steal on the barrack, getting the extra money.
I think it was more like as a preemptive, just in case the enemies do come there, she would burst just as.
I mean, yeah, maybe. But the knockup from Barrett would mess that up.
Yeah, the knockup was a bit.
I mean, sometimes you do not notice it because of your champion sizes are a bit too big. You don't see what's happening under you, so you do make those
rumbling of the
green goo, like lava-ish thing. Yeah, so we can see that TPA is putting on a very good show in terms of overall control of the map, you know, and having the unorthodox style of playing so far. I mean, in the sense from Galio, I mean, I've seen it done before, but he's like totally maximizing.
He's maximizing advantage. He did take Rabadon's death cap several minutes ago. You were talking, anyone interrupt you, so he did take that. So after the Negotiation Large shot into Rabadon's death cap, that's an extra 2,000 gold, and he got it in a matter of minutes. So that's how much gold he's getting.
Yes, and we can see that Stanley is juking his opponents right there, but no one's actually going to follow up onto him. They know that if they do follow up to him, they will be in trouble instead.
It was amazing to see that Irelia wanted to stun as well as Taric through at the same time as he's sending through evading.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And Stanley's going to charge in for the kill, like a boss. Okay, you see, right now, even though it's in front of the tower, if Galio does decide to suddenly charge in for the ultimate, I mean, it will disrupt the whole team, pull them a bit closer, and they'll be able to get the kill. But they're going to opt for the safer, not going to make any big plays. Oh, there goes.
And there it goes.
That ultimate all the way. Kolali is going to move in for ultimate as well. No, her ultimate is still down. Oh, BB does go down. The Irelia, as you mentioned, does dash right into him with all the champions there. Oh,
that's really fast.
I believe that actually, I do the Kolali is this quick. I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen her use the ultimate to the full extent. I believe she actually saw herself getting hit by the tower, so she decided to move back because her life was a bit higher earlier. I mean, but I mean, it's quite funny to see all the things happen at the same time. Yeah, and this is definitely a good game going on for TPA, and Bangkok is definitely putting up a very great show overall. You know, even though I mean they're still at the bottom, they are still a force to be trifled with. I mean, they're not like losing because.
They're not losing because they are not losing because they're playing bad games. They're losing because they're getting outplayed by stronger strategies and ever-changing gameplay. So yes, I mean, Bangkok Titans, we did talk about this earlier, that they're getting new players in, and you know, they're being strong players, but it's only a matter of time before they work out their synergy, they work out what's actually happening in GPL. So yeah.
So we're going to take a look at the scoreboard. You're going to see how much gold that Galio has actually accumulated, I suppose.
And look at that.
Oh, 12.5k overall, even more than Vayne, with Vayne having almost similar amount of kills, but almost similar CS as well. Wow, but actually putting him much far ahead overall. I mean, they do get overall the Dragon Gold, the Baron Gold, but we can see that Galio was very much ahead from that.
The 2 extra kills does not give him that much of a goal difference. Now, the extra 2,000 came from the goal per 5 items and perhaps maybe the seals and quins out there.
Which I will check on later, so I can show. If it is gold generation, quins and seals, I'll do a screenshot and show everyone.
What's interesting is that also Stanley did not get his Will of the Ancients yet. They were just that much far ahead that he did not need to get a Will of the Ancients to survive in fights and to help Galio out.
Yeah, and he actually opted for Doran Shield to be more tanky in his lane, early stage. So this is going to be very exciting to see. Bangkok Titans, as this is the new team they've made so far. I mean, the teamwork is still there, but overall it still needs much improvement, as well as they're slowly improving throughout this GPL. I mean, they are doing steadily improving, but hopefully with this 2 weeks break.
Yes, the 2 weeks break, I think they will definitely go back there, relook at the other games, relook at whatever has been going on, and then we are able to come back with a better team, I think, for Bangkok Titans after they had looked through everything and maybe bonded over the next 2 weeks.
This 2 weeks of rest, so to speak, is going to be a break definitely for us casters. You know, to work throughout the weekends, burn every single time. But for the players, it's going to be very intensive for them.
Definitely, because they want to get the advantage over the rest of the players. In 2 weeks, a lot can change for individual players in how the meta has changed based on whatever recent plays have been going on around there. So
not only recent plays, but hopefully we see Jace. At the same time, the buff and nerfs on Oriana might totally change the whole entire play,
definitely,
so to speak. So definitely, as we've been mentioning throughout the stream so far, we are going to be a 2 weeks break for GPL for the next 2 weeks. So I'm a bit lost on what to do, I suppose, I'm going to stop commentating for 2 weeks. Maybe when I come back, I'll be like, stage fright, can't move.
Frozen bear.
Frozen bear. Oh yeah, like skin, I should get some white fur. Cover it up.
So, when we come back, Teddy Tiber shall be in white fur to be a white bear.
I'll try to grow some fur. Maybe. Definitely moving from that. So, I mean, don't worry, for today's GPL matches, we also will have the 300 GS for everyone to speak. But will be run on by the Singapore side. So don't worry. The next 10 minutes or so, I believe so far they've been quite efficient as well. Next 5 minutes or so, the question will be up on our League of Legends fan page, the Garena League of Legends fan page,
which is on Facebook.
Yes,
in case you're unaware of it.
Yes, which
is on Facebook.
Yes. So these winners are only for the SAM server, so to speak, Singapore and Malaysia. Yeah. So for those other viewers who came to view in, we'll not be able to help you on that.
So, but thank you for viewing us, but I'm sorry you can't get the 300 Garena shells.
I mean, I believe you all do enjoy all the matches being played today. They
were exciting matches.
Exciting matches so far. Even though the goal difference slowly builds up. I mean, for both matches, a bit large, but both teams still try to do spectacular, try to pull it back.
They definitely try to come back in the game, and I don't believe there was one point where it was so far gone. They definitely could have, tried different things to come back in. I'm actually looking forward to the 2 weeks breaks, not because it's a break for me, but it's a break for the teams and see what other new strategies they come up with and if there are any new players. So yeah.
So, I'm going to mention a bit about tomorrow's schedule, so you all can be excited. Malaysia side will be casting for tomorrow as we're going to focus a bit more on the IPL that is happening. So for tomorrow's match will be the Milan Eagles versus the Saigon Jokers for the first game.
A very close match.
Yes, going to be very interesting to see how the Milan Eagles, after beating TPA and losing the few matches previous weeks, is going to come back from this. As well for the game 2, it's going to be Bangkok Titans versus the Singapore Sentinels. I mean, this week, the end week, so to speak, is a bit harsh on the Bangkok Titans as they are going up against the strongest teams. But I believe this is going to grant them a lot of experience needed for this new team.
A lot of material to study within the break there so that they can improve on, for sure.
Definitely.
And also, if you're still interested, we're just reminding you that tomorrow we will be casting IPL here, not we, but on the Malaysian side, we'll be casting IPL. So if you want to watch what happens in the semi-finals and finals, if you want to find out if KL Hunters will come out the victors of IPL 5 for the Malaysian division, do stay tuned.
Let's wager and win, wager some food.
Hopefully they will feed us some food. You know, some people just don't like to buy me food.
I totally forgot. You know, I starved my co-host earlier. You know, that is a story for another day. So thank you so much for tuning in to the GPL for today. So I hope you enjoy the games and our cast, even though what? You know, what should I say now? No, you said I have good jokes, but I can't think of jokes.
No worries there. During the break, we will write a few more jokes for Teddy Tibbers.
You know, to do volley bear dance.
Yeah, we can do the volley bear dance on it.
Okay, so thank you all so much for tuning. So we'll see you again this coming Sunday when the Malaysia stream is up. So thank you all for watching.
See you then.
See you then.